So next up, irreverently, Zach Baker has been introduced on the poster as the guy with the big hair. I managed to coax a bio from him. Apparently his creative genius, he would hardly call it genius, but has to say that it stems from all of the wonderful people in his life. One of those is me, right, isn't it? After tonight, it will be. The places he's been, the experiences that he's encountered, and every last detail of the past 27 years, good and bad, is inspiring him. So, we're going to hear 27 years worth in 400 seconds here. Can you try and keep the intellectual level down for me and for this one? Would you welcome, please, the enormously haired Zach Baker?
Alright, well, my slides, it's about unfinished business. As you can see, the projects I've started far outnumber the projects I've actually finished. Sometimes through frustration with the direction the project's going, sometimes the project takes on a mind of its own and I just don't like where it's gonna go. And sometimes it starts with a fantastic idea and then I just end up admitting that it was kind of lame. When I was 16, I made a newspaper called No News for You. I had the internet at an early age. I sold mixed CDs, imported whiskey from Canada, and I had access to world news stories. The day it went out, I had to shut it down. Mom was called. I had to explain why I felt the need to report a fertility festival in Japan to my high school students. PhotoSwap is an app for the iPhone where people trade photos instantly. It doesn't choose where, it chooses itself where they go and what you get back. It tends to be boring. There's a lot of guys that are really lonely looking for some visual stimulation. And so I started a blog. I'm not a drawer, but I started drawing. I told people that I would draw what they send me. And so this actually got people to go and take better photographs instead of just like their living rooms, their TVs, and their dogs. I really liked it. My drawing skills were improving slightly. I had a total of 3 entries before I stopped. I started taking pictures from my roof. I started just with the skyline. If any of you have been at the Loop at night, it's really boring. There's no cars, no people. It's incredibly quiet. But from a distance, it totally steals the show. Then I started taking pictures of people. I know it might be considered creepy, but I'm not a very big fan of posed photographs. And in these two especially, it looks as though these people were waiting for that moment for this picture to be taken. The yellows in this top one and the reds over here, they went out wanting someone to take their picture, and I did it. I have a project called Happy Hour that I wanted to do. 6 5-minute segments. With rotating schedules. Drunk movie reviews, bachelor cooking with Zach, a music guest, and a street economy report. I wanted to do a CNBC style of reporting with arguments and interviews and charts and graphs. In 2008, it was a rough year for prostitution and illegal firearms. But with people being laid off, illegal drugs skyrocketed. If you have any money, I highly suggest investing in hedge funds right now. This is a blueprint for a documentary called I Quit. I have a lot of friends who have quit their jobs or are in the process, and with a little bit of luck, by the end of this movie, a filmmaker would quit his job and continue doing films. And I really applaud that. I actually got a tattoo to celebrate my love for not finishing projects. I never liked anything enough to get it on my body permanently, so this was perfect. An empty space that may or may not ever be filled in. Then I started to let people fill in the blank. At first, I thought it was just going to be people drawing explicit words and images in attempts to embarrass me. It was something different. Every time someone would draw something on me, I could see them thinking for a moment, and they would write what they actually love. This project is still going on, and it will continue to be, unless, of course, I ever figure out what's going in the blank myself. Oh, Zach's smug. I created this character over my criticism of where underground hip-hop was going. Most hip-hoppers these days have songs purely about how long they've been rhyming. It is becoming less and less about telling a story. This was the beginning of his career. He started turntables when he was 4. His first album would be titled Zach Smug Presents Solid Gold Greatest Hits Volume 2. Such memorable tracks as I like some things and dislike others. I have been rapping for a long time. I sleep with a lot of women. And I am better than you, the ego song. But I couldn't figure out where this story should end. Should he disappear or should he die? Either way, it would be fake and he would still be out there. I could see this character doing this to avoid churning out 5 garbage pop albums while slowly fading away into obscurity. Smug bastard. I'm good at finishing some things, like drinks, and if you want to test me on this during the beer break. I'm also good at finishing roasted vegetables and cheeseburgers. I put away an entire Kuma's cheeseburger, and if any of you have ever been there, you know that's quite a feat. But besides eating and consuming beverages, I'm also pretty good at finishing relationships. I'm starting to think that it has something to do with my ability to start a project and not finish it. There's the initial excitement, the first month or two of fun and development, then the eventual departure of one or both parties involved. It's not that I'm afraid of commitment, I just don't like it very much. But I do finish creative projects as well. This script I finished, and it was based on a true story on the South Side. Some Chicago mobsters hijacked a Beanie Baby truck. And I thought it was hilarious picturing these guys planning it and then bringing the truck back to the warehouse and sorting out Beanie Babies. This is one of my films that I made in college called Downs and Ups. It was a stop-motion animation film about how you only really notice your roommates' annoyances when they're gone. So I had garbage piling up, food disappearing, but then I also had money showing up and good times because, let's face it, roommates are awesome, but sometimes, you know, they can be a little annoying. Oh, and this is Guzik Kidnapped. It was the true story of Al Capone's bookkeeper being kidnapped. It turned out to be a business meeting of some of the younger gang members that were just a little jealous of not getting the same amount of money as the higher ups. And for the next project that I finished, well, looking through my old projects, it was amazing. It absolutely inspired me to get right back at them and, you know, look at them again through a few years past. And I'm sure, being with a lot of creative types, you all have unfinished projects, and I urge all of you to go back, look at them, and continue them and finish them.
Great.